Welcome to Gentle Yoga. This is Leo Bray on behalf of Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center in Palm Springs. Visit us online at urbanyoga.org or on Facebook at Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center. Check out the schedule, stop by the tip jar to make donations. All these online classes are donation-based. Pardon my throat here today. And folks watching later on YouTube, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel for us. That's a help. Folks joining on Zoom, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel too, of course. Days when you can't make it to the Zoom, there are so many videos on Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center YouTube. And there's playlists. It's organized by teachers. So for example, when you go to Leo Bray playlist on Kristen's YouTube page, I think I'm over 200 classes, just me on there. So add up all the teachers. I don't know, there's probably over 1,000 on there. And some of them are shorter. If you ever want a shorter practice, you can scan titles to pick out something that works for you that day. All right, so you can start out sitting or kneeling if that works better for you. Whatever's comfortable. Find grounding contact, find that comfort. If you want to, close your eyes. Notice your breath slowing down and getting deeper as you find your comfortable stillness. Taking in the movements of your breath, the way your contact with the floor feels. Whatever you're sitting on, maybe it's just a mat, maybe you're sitting on some other props like we sometimes do. Taking in your environment, what's reaching your senses, including the horn from the water vendor going by in the street here. What you hear from my environment plus what you hear from yours. Whatever sights, smells, sounds. Notice whatever there is to be noticed. And then let's turn inward and do the same. Scan your body and take in whatever there is to be noticed there. Cataloging sensations, flagging the ones we want to stay mindful of. Any sensation you might deem negative in your body, stiffness, soreness. Remembering we can use this information to find the practice that's best for each of us. Remembering that we're each welcome to skip or modify any part of practice. Let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths and we'll start to move around. In through your nose, out through your mouth with a sigh. You can let your eyes open if they're closed. And let's start with the lower body today. Lift a leg. I'm just lifting the one in front. Doesn't matter which one you lift. We'll do them both. Letting your leg and your foot be passive. Support your leg with your arm or your hand, whatever grip works for you. Take your opposite hand, interlace your fingers between your toes, and gently and slowly move your foot in easy circles. Just opening the ankle up, seeing how much room there is, how everything feels. Getting in a little incidental foot massage, a little acupressure action. All the nerve endings in the hands and the feet connecting. And change direction. When we use one body part to help another move, it's a different effect than just moving the part by itself. And let's release the toes. Now use both arms to cradle the weight of your whole leg. So feel your femur hanging in the hip socket and move the leg in gentle, slow circles. And change direction. Let's switch legs, let that one down. Hold the other one up, let the arms and the hands do the work, remember? Fingers between the toes. Slow, gentle circles, first for the ankle. Change direction. Release your toes, support the whole leg, and make the circles for your hip. Switch direction. Let that leg down. Make any adjustments you need to get comfortably grounded again. For me, it's always more comfortable with this leg in front of the other one. So that's part of me reorganizing things. Rest your hands on your knees or your thighs. Inhale to draw your heart forward, let your head tip back. Exhale, draw your heart back, let your head tip forward. And just follow the pace of your breath. Never forcing, just inviting the movements to maybe get bigger. And when we listen to our bodies and aim at moving in accordance to what they're telling us, then it's important to be honest with ourselves and not go past what the body is indicating. To thine own self be true. It's okay to explore the edge of your comfort zone, maybe explore some resistance, but don't try to force past it. Let's start to take some circular movements. So as you inhale and come forward, go over towards one side. As you exhale to go back, go over towards the other side. There's this common phrase people say, the struggle is real when they're struggling with something. But to turn it around, the real is a struggle. Sometimes we struggle with keeping it real. There's another phrase. With that internal honesty. Am I listening to my body and doing what feels comfortable or sufficient, or am I pushing myself to do more, to go further, and disregarding an important signal like pain or resistance? Let's change direction with the circles. And I think we all sometimes do this. We all sometimes do what we think we should instead of what we should. Or we're listening to the body and maybe disregarding the information and trying to push more than we should. So when I issue these reminders, they're reminders for me too.
And it's all a practice. The mental stuff as well as the physical stuff. Let's sit upright, nice and tall. Reach your arms to the sides and rest your fingertips on the floor. Inhale, reach your right arm up alongside your ear. Exhale, reach to the left. Feel for length from your hip up through your fingertips. Inhale to bring yourself upright. And as you exhale, come into a twist. Left hand on right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist some more. Let yourself unwind, come through center. Inhale to lift your left arm up. Exhale to reach to your right. Inhale to come up. Exhale, come into your other twist. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist some more. Really just find how much twist feels sufficient. You don't have to go as far as you can. Maybe what's doable is nowhere near comfortable. Let yourself unwind, come through center. Now let your arms just hang loose at your sides. Raise your right shoulder towards your ear. Slide it back, let it down. Notice how that shoulder feels different from the other one. If you can notice a difference. Then the left shoulder up, back, down. Work on the neck, let your chin gently down towards your chest. Going as slowly as you can stand. Roll your ear towards your shoulder. And let your head tip back. Over towards the other shoulder. Take your time. If you find a tight spot like the one I have right here, you can pause circling to go back and forth at the tight spot. Focusing time on the places that need some more attention. Now let's change direction. You might find a tight spot moving in one direction that you didn't find in the other. You may find one direction helps the tight spot more than the other did. Adjust accordingly. And let's make our way up onto our hands and knees. Drink whenever you need to. That's part of listening to our bodies. We'll come first to table, sort of squared off with the shoulders above the wrists, the hips above the knees. We're going to focus today on the center of the body, between like the bottom rib and the knees, let's say. So lower back, hips, hamstrings, that kind of stuff. Reach back with your left foot, press against the ball of your foot. Now let's rock forward and back a bit by flexing the foot to whatever degree feels okay. So this stretches the leg and the foot. Also getting into the glutes, the outer hip. Maybe you feel something in the low back. I'm not doing a full range of motion as I sometimes do because I jammed these toes yesterday, jumping off a catamaran into shallow water, soft sand, but just shallower than my brain told me it was as I went in, and my foot was pointing the wrong way when I hit the sand. Let's come back here with the shoulders above the wrists. And then bring your foot out to the side, maybe in line with your hip if it's okay to go that far. I'm going to do a much smaller rocking motion here, at least to start. Sit back a little towards your right heel and glide forward again. If you want to tie it to the breath, you could exhale as you go back. Inhale as you come forward. Be mindful of the sensation here on the inner thigh of the extended leg. That's a good telltale to let us know if we start to go too far. So maybe the movements get bigger, maybe they stay small. And you might feel this in various places. Lower back, outsides of the knee, anywhere in between, the outside of the hip, the IT band. A place where that well-known sciatic nerve runs, which gives a lot of folks trouble. By loosening and opening the muscles around such major nerves, we can help ease the pain we get from things like sciatica. Improve circulation in the area, that helps as well. Getting more oxygen into all those tissues. Now let's pause here with the shoulders above the wrists. Walk your hands further out. Let your head lower down between your arms. Walk your hands over to the right, letting your head track with your arms. Press into your hands and nudge the right hip a couple inches towards the right heel. Not a big movement. Pretty complex stretch. Slowly walk your hand back to center line and then back in below your shoulders. Swing your foot back to center and bring your knee down. Take a few cow and cat breaths. Inhale, bring your heart forward, let your head and tail go up. Exhale, bring your heart up, let your head and tail come down. Come back through table, reach back, press into the ball of your right foot, and flex the foot, explore rocking forward and back to whatever degree feels okay. Now on this side where I haven't injured my toes, I like to rock forward like this and let the toes flip, stretching different leg muscles. That gets into a nice flexing of the quadriceps. But really, as we rock back and forth like this, we're working all up and down the leg. You might feel it in different areas depending on what's going on in your body. Now let's pause that, slide this foot out to the side in line with the hip, and start small, move gently, sit back, come forward. Whatever degree feels okay. So maybe you build up to some big movements, but just listen to your body. It's not a contest. You're not competing even with yourself. Even if we do the exact same practice from one day to the next, progress is not always linear. I might find that my body doesn't want to do as much as it did yesterday. And stop rocking there when you bring your shoulders forward. Next, walk your hands further out. Let your head come down between your arms. Walk your hands over to the left and give that push away from the floor, sending your left hip back towards your left heel, just a little. Walk your hands back to center and then back in towards you. Slide your foot back here, bring your knee down, take a few cow cat breaths again. And let's start to stand. Step your left foot up between your hands. It's okay if it takes more than one step. Step your right foot up to meet it. Sway back and forth, bending one leg, then the other. Feel lengthening in the back of the body. Focus on sensation wherever you're getting the most of it, and see what you can do to ease out any specific tight spots. What movement helps the hamstrings, the lower back, wherever you feel that excessive tightness. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Pausing for a drink. And while I'm pausing, I'll move my microphone here. Get it up off the floor, closer to my mouth. Inhale, reach out to the sides. As you exhale, you can reach for your shoulder blades and hug yourself. Or if you like to take eagle arms, you can do that. Intertwine your arms, press your hands together. If you're in eagle, then reach your elbows and hands forward and up, away from your chest and your face. On an inhale, open up again. And as you exhale, cross the opposite way. Inhale to open up. Exhale to let your arms down. Inhale out and up. Exhale, fold forward. I'm going to play with a bind here. Nice hamstring stretch, and you might feel the benefit in your lower back as well. Bend your knees a lot. Let your belly rest on your thighs. Reach your arms behind your legs and grab your elbows in your hands. Make sure your neck is released, your head just hangs. Start to lengthen your legs to whatever degree feels okay. We'll spend about a half minute here. So this does make for shorter breaths. You're pressing your belly into your thighs. Your diaphragm can't move as much. Try to let the breath just be continuous and smooth. Not forcing anything there either. Release your hand, bend your knees a whole lot again. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. We'll start into some flow and work our way towards pigeon pose here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold down. Step back to plank. If you like a shorter plank, go ahead, let your knees down. On an exhale, slowly lower all the way to the floor, keeping your elbows in towards your body as you lower. Press into your hands. Inhale, lift your head and chest to whatever height feels okay for your lower back. Exhale, rock back and up to downward facing dog. And pedal your feet up and down. Walk your dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, down. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, down. Step back to plank. When you're ready, on an exhale, you can lower halfway down or all the way down if you like. Inhale to bring your heart forward to cobra or upward facing dog. Listen to your low back. Exhale, rock back and up to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up high. Bend your knee, stack that hip above the other hip. Flex your foot, make a couple circles with your knee in each direction. Square your hip down. Lower your leg. Inhale, raise your right leg. Bend your knee, stack your hips, flex your foot, circle your knee. Square your hip down, lower your leg. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, down. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, up. Exhale down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale down. Step back to plank. If your arms are tired, maybe go right from plank to down dog. Skip a couple things. Otherwise, exhale, lower. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, back and up. Inhale, lift your left leg up high. Exhale, draw your knee towards your chest. Send your left foot over to the right side of the mat. Rest the pinky edge of your foot on the floor. If you want to go further here, you can reach your right hand up towards the sky. If that hand is raised, bring it down. Draw your knee to center. Inhale, reach your leg high. On the exhale, we'll come to pigeon. Slowly draw your knee towards your left wrist, your ankle towards your right wrist. Let the lower leg land. Let the back knee down. Uncurl the back toes. Look back at your right foot, your right leg. You want the leg to be in line behind the hip, not going off to the side, either side. Before we go down, let's go up. We'll open the midline. Press into your hands. Inhale, lift your head and chest. Maybe you even come up on your fingertips or some blocks. Exhale, release forward and down. Think of melting. Surrendering to gravity and breath. So maybe you just come down onto your forearms. You could have blocks under your arms or hands here. And just see where your hips want to go. Not pushing them down, inviting them to find their way towards the floor as much as they want to. And allow yourself to adjust to what your hips are doing. So that might mean scooting that right knee and right foot back. It might mean walking your arms further forward. Maybe your head comes down to your hands or arms or to the block or to the floor. Breathing into whatever arises, whatever sensation is going on. Anything unpleasant that comes up, think of just releasing it on the exhale. Think of it floating away. If you find your pelvis isn't quite squared to the floor, you might put a block or another prop under whatever hip is down lower than the other. Take your time to walk your elbows in closer, lift your head and chest. Eventually make your way back up onto your hands with your arms extended. Now, if you want to, you can explore a bind here. You can bend the right leg, reach your heel towards your butt, and you can reach back, see if you can grab that foot or that leg. I like to use the opposite hand. Some people like to use the hand on the same side. For me, it makes me want to tip over that way if I use my right hand here instead of this left hand. So I use the opposite hand. Try to keep the shoulders squared forward. If you got that bind, let it go. Plant your hand. Throw your toes under, press into your foot to lift your knee. Big inhale, pressing into your hands, lift the left leg back up high. Once more, bend your knee, bend your knee, stack your hips, flex your foot, then circle your knee. Starting to get my cues out of order. Then square your hip down, lower your leg. Inhale, lift both heels. Maybe you come up on your toes. Exhale, lower your heels. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. And do all that on the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Step back to plank. Again, if your arms feel tired, skip the Chaturanga Dandasana. Simply go from plank to down dog. Otherwise, exhaling lower, inhaling, open your heart, then exhale, back it up to down dog. Now, big inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale, draw your knee towards your chest. Send your foot over to the left side of the mat. Star pose. If you want to go further to fallen star, reach your left hand up. If your left hand is raised, exhale, bring it down. Draw your knee to center. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, slowly coming to pigeon. Knee towards right wrist, ankle towards left wrist. Left wrist. Let that leg down. Tongue twisters. Let the back knee down, uncurl the back toes. Look back, check the alignment on that extended leg. Press into your hands, inhale, lift your head and chest. Exhale, release, melt, forward and down. Surrender to breath and gravity. Letting your hips be in the driver's seat. Letting everything else accommodate where the hips want to go. Maybe the elbows come forward. Maybe the knee scoots back. Taking your time, slowly start to rewind everything. When you're back up here, arms extended, head and chest lifted. If you want, reach your heel towards your butt. If you want, see about that bind. It's a pretty deep quad stretch if you can get the bind. Maybe it's too deep. Maybe you don't want to do it. Just because you can get the bind doesn't mean it feels beneficial. Release the bind if you've got it. Plant your hand, plant your foot, engage your leg. Big inhale, reach back up. Last three-legged dog. Bend your knee, stack your hips, flex your foot, circle your knee a couple times each way. Square your hip down, lower your foot. Inhale with both heels. Exhale, lower. Lower both knees gently. Make your way to child's pose. Scan your body, check in with your breath. Vary your child's pose any way you need to. Inhale, come forward and up to table. We're going to make our way to a seat. You can cross your ankles, sit back towards your heels. And if it works for you, you could roll right over your heels, right over your ankles like that. Or if that doesn't work, tip onto one hip and swing your legs around. So let's first sit with legs extended, feet flexed back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Let your knees bend as much as they need to. On the inhale, think of the crown of your head coming forward. On the exhale, think of lowering down some more. Inhaling, walk your hands up to the front of your legs and sit up. Use your arms to nudge your legs apart to whatever degree is okay. We won't be here that long. We're going to mix it up. Keep using your arms to help your legs. Bend your left knee. Bring your left foot to your right thigh or right knee, sort of like tree pose. If it doesn't feel good to have this bent knee hang in the air and you have blocks or other props, you can put something between your knee and the floor to hold your leg. Pivot your torso. Aim your sternum at the right foot. And flex the right foot back towards you. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, fold down over that leg. Swing your left arm out to the left and then reach it up alongside your ear, bringing your left hand overhead towards your right hand. Mine aren't going to come close. It's just the direction, not the destination. There are people who can touch their hands here. I'm not one of them. Let your head be wherever your neck feels okay. This can bring some deep release in the lower back. Lots of compression we get there from sitting. So the more you sit, the more compressed the lower back is. And this is great for undoing that compression. Reach back up and back out and swing the left hand over to the right hand. Reach the right arm out to the right. Turn your head to follow. Look towards your hand. Turn your thumb towards the floor. Reach the back of your hand towards your left hip. Peel your right shoulder back. Extend your arm, let that rotation go, and bring the right hand back to the left hand. Walk your hands up your right leg and sit up. And do that the opposite way. Let your arms help your legs. Extend the left leg, bend the right leg, bring the foot across, pivot your torso, flex your left foot. If needed, support this leg with a prop. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull down. Reach your right arm out to the right, then reach it up alongside your ear, overhead towards the left hand. Reach back up and back out. Bring your arm back across, right hand to the left hand. Swing the left arm to the left, turn your head to follow. Point your thumb down, reach towards your right hip, draw your left shoulder back. Extend your arm. Let that rotation go. Bring the left hand back to the right hand. Walk your hands up your leg and sit up. Start to extend the right leg. Just bend it a little left. Bend the left leg, bring the soles of the feet together. Leave a big space between your heels and your pelvis. Reach over and in front of your ankles or under your ankles and walk your hands forward on the mat. Let your neck relax, let your head drop down. Breathe into your back. Slowly walk your hands back, lift your torso. Keeping your feet together, bring them in close. Interlace your fingers. Hold your toes between your hands. Wriggle to bring the bones in your seat closer to the floor. Opening your hips, tilting your pelvis forward. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, hinge forward at your hips. Keep your spine long at first. See how far that'll go. And wherever the long spine's not lowering anymore, let your head lower, let your neck release. Breathe into your hips. Inhale, slowly sit up. Use your hands to nudge your knees towards each other. Rest your feet on the floor. Bring your hands behind you. Scoot forward. Come down onto your back. Let's go ahead and extend the legs down along the mat. We often include some sort of sequence with bridge pose, heart opening. Today, as a nice energetic counter to having done pigeon pose, we do a different heart opener. It's also a throat opener called fish pose. Kind of a funny posture, less movement than working with bridge. Zip your feet and legs together. Rock to the left to raise your right hip. Slide your right hand under your butt, palm down, and sit on your hand. Then lift the left hip, slide the left hand under, release down. So we're sitting on the backs of both hands. Feet and legs still zipped together. Start to walk your elbows in towards each other. So we're going to end up shifting our weight from our back being on the floor to our forearms being on the floor. Maybe your whole back is off the floor. Maybe some parts of your back are still on the floor, like shoulder blades, whatever. Just draw your elbows in towards each other as much as you can without strain. The edge of your comfort zone, which only you know. Still zipping the feet and legs together throughout. Lift your head and chest. Then keeping your shoulders raised like this, slowly and gently let your head tip back real gradually. Take your time. You want to let the crown of your head just barely find the floor. We're not going to put weight on the neck, really. Just letting the head rest. And then we just take some big breaths here. And on the exhales, open your mouth, let out whatever sound wants to come out. Depending on what you feel, maybe you want to do some more. When you've had enough of that, I've had enough of that. Gonna lift your head. Come all the way forward. You can even tuck your chin right to your chest if that's okay for you. Then keeping your chin towards your chest, then let your shoulders down, and then slowly let your head down. Lift one hip, take the hand out of there. Lift the other hip, take the hand out. If your hands or arms went a little numb, you shake them out, maybe tap them on the floor. Fish pose. Nothing like it. Draw your knees towards your chest. Hug your knees. Rock and roll. Massage your back against the ground. We've done a lot today. Let's just make the closing twist a real simple one. If you want to go for a deeper twist, you can. I'm going to keep it simple. Knees towards the chest. Now, the closer your knees are to your torso as you twist, the deeper it feels. So you decide where you want them to be, how you want it to feel. Reach your arms out to the sides, palms up. Try to keep your shoulders grounded. Let your legs fall to the left. Turn your head to the right. Not forcing either. See where those legs want to go. Let your breath bring you out. Slowly start to bring everything up through center and just let the movement continue. So your legs go to the right, your head comes to the left, shoulders stay grounded. Come back up to center. Reach your feet up, reach your hands up, grab your legs or feet. Play with bending and straightening your arms and legs, moving around in any way that feels helpful to you. You can do that for as long as you like. And when you feel complete, make your way to a resting pose of your choice for Shavasana, for the integration phase of practice, where we lie still, absorbing the benefits of all that other stuff we just did. Start taking some deeper breaths and moving around little by little. Letting your movements grow bigger and bigger. Take your time when you're ready to gently sit up. You can bring your hands by your heart. Thank you for sharing practice with me. The light within me sees and honors that same light within you. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. See you next time.